How do you know if somebody is qualified to be giving fitness advice? Let's have a discussion. This will work on two fronts. So if you are a trainer or an aspiring trainer, you might be able to use some of these thoughts to fill gaps in your own knowledge, making you a better trainer. And that's the process that we use in here for ourselves. If you're looking to hire a trainer, or you have a trainer, or maybe you're just scouring the internet for information, this will help you decipher a little bit between those who may be less qualified and more qualified to be giving fitness advice in the first place. The way that I like to think about it is using a three-prong system. The first prong is the actual certifications or degree that a person has. Now, a degree could be a degree in exercise science. Certifications could be a certified personal trainer or a strength and conditioning specialist. And then, of course, there are additional certifications out there that specialize in different areas of fitness. And the more letters someone has after their name, you can be reasonably assured that they've done more of that basic coursework. They may have a better foundation in the science of fitness, which of course is great. The danger here is that if someone has only done coursework and not done the following two things, which are both dealing with experience, then they might not be able to apply some of this science beyond what they've read in the book, which means they may have a limited knowledge of what's going to actually transfer in the real world, because a lot of the scientific concepts that you learn in the books, they're just not applicable once you get out on the training floor. And you're not going to be talking a lot about exercise physiology. The next prong is experience training yourself. Now, I think when people look at trainers, sometimes a common misconception might be that trainers should all sort of look like models, like social media models walking around with their shirts off all the time. And this isn't true. But experience training yourself is really important as a trainer, because experience training yourself means that you know how certain exercises, certain programs, how certain rep and set schemes, you know how it all feels. And having a nice wide variety of programs that you've done means that you can apply all these different programs very confidently and say, I know how this is going to feel. I know how this is going to feel because I've been there and I've done that. And it doesn't mean you have to be an expert in every single program. And it doesn't mean that you have to do every single program all the time. But having spent a little bit of time dabbling in a lot of different things will give you a much wider foundation to base your training knowledge off of. The pitfall here, of course, is if you only have trained yourself and you don't have experience training other people and you haven't dove into the coursework at all, then what'll happen sometimes is trainers will start to apply just the workout programs that worked really well for them. But of course, when we account for individual differences and things like genetics, not every person is going to respond to a program the same way that I did or another coach did. So it's important that we not only get experience training ourselves, but we get experience training other people, and we do dive into some of that science, so we don't get hung up just prescribing exercises and programs and workouts that worked really well for us, because we're individuals. Now, the third prong is experience training other people. This is an easy one to see because a lot of times trainers, coaches, gyms will have testimonials, so you can see and you can read right there for yourself about the other people that have trained. And this is the essence of having things like good Google reviews. Training other people is really, really important, because even if you've done the coursework and you've done your own workouts, it's really helpful to have seen other people, because training yourself is much different than training a second person. And it's very helpful to have that experience, because not only will you learn how to apply the concepts better, but as you train more people, you'll be able to apply the same concepts when you see the same issues pop up. And that could be two people with similar goals and you can apply similar programs, or two people that have similar movement dysfunctions and we can apply similar solutions and see what happens. And so training lots of people, including yourself, that gives you all the experience you need and accumulates and makes you a better trainer over time. So again, starting from the beginning, if you are a trainer or an aspiring trainer, these are three separate buckets that you probably want to be paying attention to. You want to pay attention to getting some foundation of scientific knowledge, and that's through certifications or a degree, and then branching off and maybe specializing trying some other certifications that are a little more specialized in the fitness space. You want to make sure you have a good history of training yourself. Training yourself just means that you know how things feel. It means you can provide a real, genuine empathy when you're training other people because you know how they're feeling in that moment and in that program, and that makes you a better coach. And generally, you want to accumulate as many hours as you can training other people. The more people you train, the more things you'll see, and you'll just get better by process of elimination. You'll know what works, what doesn't work, and you combine those three things, it makes you a really great coach. And so if you're looking to hire a coach, or you have one hired, you can look in those same three buckets. Someone who has a reasonable amount of scientific knowledge, someone that trains himself, and someone that has trained lots of other people. Those would be three great ways. It's a great three-prong test to tell if someone is qualified to be giving fitness advice. And so again, if you're a trainer or you're someone looking to hire a trainer, you can apply some of these thoughts, and it should give you a nice clear picture on how much experience somebody has and therefore how qualified they might be.